Connecting. Hello viewers, Sun Service here with another quick stream slash video, depending when you're watching this. And I'm joined by an old channel friend, OP.
We have all come today to watch this piece of content.
What this is going to be OP, who is
There's more
a
content on
better
the
naval
content side
expert
than
than
there was
me,
before.
rating my designs, which I'm going to be going in order of how they appear here on the ship design screen. So, can you see the screen alright?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to start you off with my destroyer leaders. Well, main destroyer leaders, I should say, because there's a secondary destroyer leader class, but that one is more shit than this one, so...
That's not a good thing to say.
There's a reason why I only built 2 of those and a whole bunch of these.
Worried, but yeah.
This is it in its most modern refit state.
Yeah.
The DS3's class. It's got 5-inch guns all over the place. This area used to have a 5-inch gun, but it's now got a torpedo centerline, and then it's got torpedoes there.
So, in the back we have a turret farm. In the front we have 2 turrets. Super fun. Oh my god, we got a
Mogami-esque
2 fronts,
A and
1
B.
up.
A and B layout.
And then we have 3 torpedoes. Although you will not be using 3 torpedoes at the same time, you can only be using 2 at each time.
Of 19-inch standard propulsion. The main guns are of single 5s. There's 12 of them total, which... These things do run on a mix of oil and coal.
Yeah.
With geared turbines. The auxiliary engines isn't the best available. Rudder's the what I would call the best. Balanced rudder. Steering's best available for time period currently. Armour is also best available, so is barbette. Double bottom hull, reinforced bulkheads, anti-flood, and advanced armoured citadel.
I mean, I will say this right now, I really feel sorry for the guys in the back who will have to sort out that very complex turret farm.
These things have been in service since 1917 was their latest refit, but they've been in service since 1914, and they've already proven very effective combat units and also somehow tank a lot of damage.
Yeah.
But one of these even survived a battle on 0.1% flotation remaining.
Oh, wow.
They've got not the best coincidence available, because we got the best coincidence available after their latest refits. We've got basic hydrophones and an improved radio telegraph. Now we go on to the armour. The entire belt is all 6-inch all across. Also, the main deck area is 6-inch. The foredeck is where we sacrificed a bit of armour. The foredeck's 1-inch, with the aft deck being 5.4 inches. That was because the ship had a really bad forward weight offset.
Yeah.
Due to the engines.
Yeah.
And so I had to reduce the forward weight somehow, and I chose foredeck.
Yeah.
As you normally don't get deck pens at ranges these things would be working at.
Yeah.
And then it's got a first inner belt of 1-inch, a 0.1-inch inner deck, and a 0.1-inch second inner belt. Gunner armour is 3.3 inches for the sides with a 0.7 on the top. And yeah, they're just standard 5-inch with no increase to calibers or anything.
Yeah.
So a rating out of 10, what would you say?
9, pretty good. I mean, I cannot really fully judge it because it's like a destroyer leader, not my exact, you know,
Yeah.
area where I can say I have some idea of what's going on. I mean, otherwise, I mean, except for that, I really feel sorry for the crew who's got to work out on that deck farm, that
Yeah.
turret farm. I mean, God, imagine the amount of people running around with explosives in their hands. I do not want to be the guy who's sitting there. You
Yeah,
know?
but don't worry, their next refit would add fully enclosed turrets, so
I hope so.
yeah, it would do. Next
I mean,
is
like, that barbette, that one singular barbette, they don't even have stairs to that thing. How are they going to get those shells up? They're going to climb them via ladder? Jesus.
UAD logic.
Yeah.
The next is
Anyways,
the next
yes, moving
design
on.
on our list here is the Sakous, another destroyer leader, which is a lot worse.
Well, at least, we won't have people running around, you know, doing, moving around with shells. We'll have,
Yeah, this thing is similar in everything but better auxiliary engines, and the armor is worse.
we have another turret farm. You really like those turret farms in the back, don't you?
Yes, these things are really heavy bow divers, this hull.
Bow divers.
Yes. Like
You
the
mean bow is
Scharnhursts.
heavier?
Yes, like the Scharnhursts.
How is that possible when you've got more guns in the back?
I don't know. But
I am
yeah,
genuinely confused right now.
UAD
So you've
logic.
got, you've got, let's see, how many torpedoes? You've got 2 torpedoes on either side. You've got triple mounted.
Triple
Okay.
mounted 19 inches again,
Okay,
which
nice.
these are the only ones with secondary guns, actually, of the two types, with only just 3-inch guns with horrible firing arcs that I
Yeah.
don't know why I kept there.
But otherwise, I mean,
And these were our first light cruiser designs to enter service with twin turrets.
it really
As the
reminds me
game
of the
classes them
mind.
as light cruisers, I class them as destroyer leaders.
Yeah.
So these are basically the same as the other ones you saw, but a lot worse in combat and also by looks. What do you say rating wise out of 10?
Well, I mean, in this case, again, not really so well knowing it, but like, I'd still give it like a 7.5 because at least, people aren't running around on deck as much
Yeah,
as the previous one, where you would have the shells pre-exposed because you had have to drag them all the way up to the barbette, which
yeah.
didn't even have a ladder somehow. I don't know how. So yeah.
Okay, here is the next design, the Condorcet class light cruisers here, which are
Whoa! I do
twin
not like
six
that forward one.
are twin 6-inch guns with 3.1 and 2-inch secondaries.
This is like late war Mogami class
Late War
cruiser layout.
Mogami, but with no, Mogami had this layout originally as well, with when she was still 6.1-inch guns. But late
It
War
was triple mount, not
yeah,
dual
this is
mount.
basically late War Mogami, but with 6 inches instead of 8 inches.
Yeah.
Armor-wise, this is a 6-inch armored brick with 1 inch inner deck and belt and a 0.5 second inner belt. With the 6-inch guns having a 6 on the side, armor-wise, and 1-inch top with a 3.5-inch barbette armor. It's got the Coincidence 2 Hydro and Advance. A triple torpedo set on the sides here, which it's of 19-inch, and armor-wise, it uses the best we have available and everything here on protection. Propulsion stuff, it uses the best we have available. It can go up to a respectable 32 knots and is within the displacement of 10,000 tons. It's more exactly 9,904 tons currently. And these guys have also been well known in the series for their survivability in the only one battle that they've been in. This thing, along with one of my battleships you would see later, got ambushed by a whole bunch of destroyers, and this thing got really badly torpedoed.
So torpedo protection is not very good. Okay.
No, it is good because survived the battle easily.
Yes. Okay, then.
So
I mean, it does look like a solid 10. It looks though. Now I'm looking at it. I mean, it's 9.5. I mean, it's. I mean, I was looking at the Citadel and was looking at it, and there stands 0.5 belt, which is a bit worrying, but yeah.
No, the belt is 6-inch all across.
No, go down to the Citadel armor.
Citadel, that's second inner belt, so there's
Yes,
the main
I know.
belt, then there's interior, which is already an inch, then there's secondary interior, which is 0.5 inch.
I know, but still, you know.
And it will be increased when I unlock Corrupt 4, which would make the armor better, but also lighter as well, so I can fit more of it.
Yeah.
Next
You
up,
want to always have a second extra
up
protection.
is my Argonet class heavy cruisers, which this
has 8-inch armors and has 8-inch guns, I'm guessing.
Yes,
Yeah,
although they originally didn't have 8-inch guns. They originally had 10.1-inch guns, but as a bit of a cost reduction thing, I reduced their guns to 8-inch because 8-inch guns cost less to maintain than 10.1-inch guns.
Yeah. We have a Mogami layout, my friends.
This is a more powerful Mogami in terms of weaponry, yes, which
Obviously.
it's got entirely quad 3.1 secondaries.
Yeah.
And runs, except for auxiliary engines, all the best propulsion. It runs all the best protection we have, and runs, except for Cat Ballistic 1 shells, Cat Ballistic shells, it runs my standard layout of 2-powder TNT. It's also one of the first ships to get coincidence-free rangefinder, which is the best rangefinder I have available for light ships.
Yeah.
And armor layout leaves a bit to be desired, with 8-inch main belt, 3-inch fore and aft, 3-inch deck, 2 fore and aft, conning tower of 15-inch, and superstructure of 2-inch. With inners being 1.3 and 0.4 for the belts, and 0.3 for the inner deck. The 8-inch guns have a 9-inch side armor, 1.8 top, and 8.2 on the barbettes. The 3 inches are unarmored.
Yeah. Wait, 3 inches are unarmored? I mean, yes, okay, the 3 inches are fine, but 8-inch guns...
These have an enhanced reloading system and are equipped with heavy shells as well.
Okay.
And an increased complement of them as well, so it has ammo for days.
Well, sir, you have sold me on this one. I would give it, oh god, 26,686,240. I mean, this is... How much do you earn each battle? God, this is expensive. How much do you, by the way, get every time?
A turn, currently I'm positive 13 million, and I'm building 4 battleships that cost a total of 75 million to build each.
Well, sir, I do not know how you get that funding, but whatever.
We're in wartime currently, so that's partly how, as well as also GDP recovery stuff. But overall rating for this design?
I mean, it seems good, so I'd give it a 10. There's not much to complain about.
Yeah.
I mean, except for that the Citadel armor has gone down by a little bit compared to, if you're upscaling the thing.
Yeah.
I know upscaling doesn't work all the time and stuff,
And
but
this
this
thing
one I do
actually
expect
does
upscale.
have an increased citadel size from its original state, with
Yeah.
less main turrets and 10.1 inch. Now we actually go on to battleships with my newest in-service design, the Sarlet.
Oh god, this my eyes hurt. Help me! Oh jeez! Oh my god! I will need help. Please get this horrid thing out of my sight, sir.
This thing here.
Th- this monstrosity here, by the way, is a Dunkirk done on the cheap.
Uh, we haven't got the hulls of the Dunkirks yet, and this is actually 16-inch guns.
Yeah, still. Dunkirk
Dunkirks
done
have
on the cheap.
13s. So what
Yes.
we have here is a and B layout,
Then let's
16-inch
call it a
guns
chunky Dunkirk.
here with XYZ dual 6-inch layout on the stern here, with a whole bunch of 4.4-inch guns, quads. Those were added in a refit, dotted all over the place, which these things have actually been proven surprisingly effective in combat. The 16-inch
Amazing.
guns, to be exact, are 16-inch 50 caliber.
Yeah, I am amazed that we've got both as this early in the game.
No, these are only made to look like Bofors. They're not actually Bofors.
I was about to say, how do you get both as this early in the game?
This game doesn't have anti-aircraft gun. Oh, the 6-inch guns are 6.1 inch.
Well, it doesn't really make that
Yeah.
much of a difference. It's only 155.
But yeah, this thing originally was supposed to have 4 ships in its class.
Let me guess, because of pricing issues and that it's very chunky. It's like a chunky Dunkirk. You had to cut down on the ship amount because of the ship cost.
Yeah, because of budget, only the Sarlet and Tourville got out. The other two got sold off to the French line and turned into ocean liners.
Damn, how does that feel?
Could be worse.
Oh well.
Yeah, they've got similar gun layouts to my standard type with capped ballistic HE and capped AP. Standard ratio between AP and HE. Heavy increased with the turrets at the current best electrical and enhanced. Stereoscopic 2, which is the best stereoscopic rangefinder I have. Then there's hydrophones and radios systems in. Propulsion's pretty much standard across the board here. Speed is 26 knots.
That's actually not that bad.
And
For its age.
oh, I haven't told you flash fire chance for any of the ships yet. Okay, actually. Flash fire chance here is kind of a bit 20.4%.
It's not bad, but you have to consider the size, so...
Yeah.
Because it's kind of chunky, it will lose a point in the rating.
Yeah, well, it's not as bad as, let's say, a certain French design from a previous campaign with over 60% chance.
What the hell did you do?
No, that was AI designed. I was a software hungry. Oh, okay, then I might have to go back over the other ones then to give you the flash fire chance of the other designs, so then you get your opinion on them updated. For the heavy cruise flash fire chance is 5.1%.
Damn, how did you do that one?
I don't know how that... I think it's a mix of the barbette protections as well as also... Right, but yeah, I don't think that would change much about your given opinion on that.
It's a tenner.
The Condorcets have a even lower 2.9% chance of a flash fire.
Yeah, well, because they're so small, they might as well have none.
Yeah. The Surcoufs have a 2%.
Yeah.
And the Estrus have a 2%.
Yeah, both of them are pretty much.
Right.
I wouldn't worry about detonations
Yeah.
anytime soon,
Back
my
to
friend.
the Sarlets. What do you give their rating?
I don't know the armor yet. I
Oh,
haven't seen it.
armor. 16-inch main belt
That's good.
with a 6-inch forebelt, 5.3-inch aft belt because this thing had an aft weight offset.
I mean, if you made it 8-inch, like half the main belt, this is like even less than half of the main belt.
And then there's this proto all or nothing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well then you might as well make it like 32
Main
millimeters or
deck
something like that.
is 6 inches
Yeah.
with a fore of 3, aft of 2.8. Conning tower
Okay.
is 18 inches. Superstructure 2 inches with first inner deck of 2 inch and first inner belt of 3.5, second inner belt of 2. The 16-inch guns are 20.8-inch armor sides with 5.3 tops and 16 on the barbettes. The 6.1s are 6 sides, 4.2 tops and 3.7 barbettes. And the 4.4-inch are 3.8 sides, 2.8 tops.
16-inch armored guns. They are not just armored, they are literally loaded with armor. Those 16 inches are not going to get penetrated anytime soon,
Yeah,
that's
with
for
20
sure.
inches of side armor and...
I mean, God.
So yeah, what do you give the rating of this?
Well, because it's a chunky, little bit more lightable than delighted, chunky boy, I will give this, even though it's going 26 knots for its chunkiness, less favorable 5.
Okay, next up is my most numerous battleship class and also the oldest battleship class in service currently, considering the fact I recently sent the Volataires to museums.
So La Canera, was that one? That's 1919. This one's 1920. How's that?
Refits.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Refits. So this is the Redund class, which had a bit of a funny history with its main guns. Originally it came ABXY triple 14s.
So basically you made them triple mounted all over.
Yeah, but then after the first battle I found the 14-inch guns were pretty useless.
So now you went for a 3-2-2-3.
I went for an Andrew Doria 13-inch layout, yes.
Uh-huh.
And then in their most recent refit, they had all their casemates removed for quad 4-inch guns.
You're really sticking to those 4 inches, aren't you?
Yes, with the same rangefinder equipment as the other battleship. This thing does have an underwater torpedo somewhere here, but that is only due to weight balancing. It has the same shell layout, same protection layout, same propulsion layout, same speed, which that was refit speed. In its most recent refit, I was able to get it up to 26 knots.
Ooh, nice.
Armour is 15 main belt, 5 fore and aft, 5 main deck, and 3 fore and aft deck, with a 15 on the conning tower and 2 on the superstructure, with first inner deck being 0.8, first inner belt being 3, and second inner belt being 1, with the 13-inch guns having 16.9-inch armour with 4.5-inch top and 13.4 barbette, with the 4 inches only having a 2.2 top armour.
I mean, you could reduce the superstructure armor though. Like 1 inch is enough. You're not gonna really be bothered about that. And I mean, let's face it, if we increase the armor by too much on the superstructure, even the AP will one day arm.
Yeah.
Turret armor?
Turret armour, like I said, 13's side 16.9, top 4.5, and barbette 13.4 for the mains. And
Good.
the 4s have a 2.2 top, and that's it.
Crikey. That is a lot. Although actually 13 inches. Your last ship had 16 inches, so...
Yeah, for gun caliber-wise.
Maybe not so great. Especially when you consider this thing has 26 knots of speed and isn't that chunky compared to the other one.
Yeah.
Although I'm guessing, is this one lighter or heavier than the other one?
Lighter. This is 24. Current weight used 22,511. Current weight used here on the Sarlacc is 35,805.
Okay, this thing is lighter.
But this thing is an older design using older equipment mainly.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Well, I mean, keeping old ships in the fleet is not super.
These things are the oldest, I think, are the oldest in the fleet, or it's these destroyers here. But the Argonauts are definitely in the range of old for the fleet. But rating for the Redunds?
I mean, even though it's like one of the older ships, I'd still give it measly 2. I mean, it's a battleship, but its armament is a bit underwhelming. Its armor's also a tad bit underwhelming. Its speed is underwhelming, and it's, well, yeah. I mean, the only thing is that you like mount the quad, Boforish guns, the 4 inches.
Is it even given the fact that we're currently in 1920 still?
Yes.
And considering the fact the other nations don't have ships with guns over 12 inches anyway.
Yes, because you had a 16-inch gun ship,
yeah.
So we put the standards up to that.
We
don't look at the other ones. We look at our own standards and keep ourselves to those.
I'm the only one with a 16-inch gun right now.
Yeah, so when you have 6 inches, we will keep you to the standard of 16 inches.
I will go on to my last battleship before showing you the destroyers.
Nelson, true British.
This is a French version of a Nelson with, again, the quad 4s. The quad 4s, the layout here, as well as also the speed standardized at 26 knots currently, with same propulsion, same protection. Armor-wise, though, this is 16-inch main with 5 fore and aft belts.
Yeah.
Main deck of 8 with 3 fore and aft. Conning tower of 15.3 and superstructure of 1.9. The inners are, for inner deck 1.3, first inner belt 4, and second inner belt 1.6 inch.
Yeah.
Hold on a second, we got a viewer here actually.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna be reading this chat stuff after this. The main guns are 17.2 with 5.6 inch and 12.9 inch on top and barbette, and 17.2 on the sides. And the 4 inches are the same as on the Redund armor-wise.
Yeah. I mean, this one, I mean, yes, the flash fire chance
is 20.4%.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I mean, this obviously is the heaviest weighing ship as far as I can see right now, because it tops the Redund, that's for sure. This was a 16-inch holding buoy, right?
This is using 16 inches.
So, and also the sea turret. I have a major bone to pick with the sea turret. I call it sea turret because it's
does it super fire over B? No, it's not a sea turret, it's an N turret.
anyways, we will. This is only my personal, so I don't really mind. But personally, because you see how that superstructure is like flat there,
Yeah.
where the end turret is facing.
Yeah.
I would turn it around so you could have more firing angle. Just for the firing angle purposes, I would like flip that turret around, and then maybe remove those 4 inches and put them there where the B turret is the end turret is currently facing. So next to the superstructure. If you could do that, obviously it doesn't have to be done, but
yeah, I did try
I would.
putting them there, but there's not enough room with
Oh,
being
okay.
where
Yeah,
I have
okay.
it
Then,
at.
yeah, then leave it like that because those 4 inches either you rotate that end turret and then those 4 inches will be in the way, or you just leave it like that and you get the most if possible. It's fine though.
I'd like to say thank you, your below average War Thunder player, if you're watching this. Like, I don't use standard AP shells. I've been using caps since the Volataires because they've worked really well on the Volataires and they've continued to work really well on all my other ships.
I think he's kind of.
Right, that's battleships done. Now on to the destroyer classes.
Destroyers, my fun little boys.
Here is the
Sweet and lolly boats.
first.
Yeah.
Here is the first of the destroyer type. This is in their most recent refit state.
Yes.
Which main speed is 33 knots. It uses
Very
quad
nice.
19-inch torpedoes.
Very nice.
But reduced complement because I mainly focused on guns.
So this is a gunboat. Okay.
Yeah, I've been having a doctrine of mainly focus on guns because of how disastrous a few early battles went with destroyers.
Okay.
The guns are 4.7-inch, which are
Yeah.
specialised for long range, with their length being at maximum.
Okay, so as far as you can pull it out.
They're a bit armoured as well with a 1.3 belt and a 0.5 fore and aft.
Yeah, something tells me the survivability on this ship is not great.
0.1 on decks, on main deck and foredeck, that is.
Yeah.
Conning tower, nothing to write home about, and superstructure. You might as well be cutting through with a knife and you'd get through it easily because nothing there.
There's no armor.
Yeah. The guns, though, are somewhat armoured with 3.8 sides and 0.4 top.
Yeah,
and
I see that.
These things are more flash fire chance than the destroyer leaders with a 2.1% flash fire chance.
Let's face it though, because they are smaller, the flash fire chance goes down in theory.
Yeah.
Or in practice also. Mostly it's just because of size difference.
But yeah,
let's go with it's a bit under armored in my opinion, but
maximum armor you can do is 1.5-inch destroyers here.
So let's give it a 7.
Now to the oldest design still left in my navy.
This reminds me of... No, it reminds me of nothing that has this kind of turret layout.
And they go 32 knots.
Okay, it's really good.
Have the same torpedo layout, obviously refitted on. Have the best rangefinders available, and they're 1.5 everywhere on armour.
God, they are really armoured. Okay, a little bit too armoured in my opinion.
Same 4.7-inch guns added in as the refit, and turret armour is 3.8 sides, 0.3 tops.
My suggestion is you remove the superstructure armor. You don't really need superstructure armor.
Yeah, that could be a thing to do in a later.
I mean, that
later refit.
would probably like increase the speed by a little bit, but the more knots you can scrounge up on these, the better it is normally.
Yeah, although if I make destroyers any faster, then they're going to be faster than the destroyer leaders, which can go 33.
This thing goes 32 knots, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about it being too
And then
fast
my
anytime
most
soon.
recent destroyer design, this is a crash build design, the Capitaine.
Ah, yes. A true connoisseur's enjoyment. Just kidding. Yeah, you really are driving the home. You're really driving it in now with not torpedo boat, but gunboat.
Yeah.
4.7 inches, I'm guessing again. Those
Yes.
4.7 inches.
Yes, that's a thing I mainly try to do. No, actually, these aren't 4.7s.
4 inches.
Yeah, just 4 inches. I forgot to do the 0.7 to them, and these things again aren't that much armored. You can see the armor layout.
Yeah, well, they don't need to
There.
have armor everywhere.
Yeah.
It's fine.
These go 30. Oh god, these have lower torpedoes. They should have 19-inch torpedoes, not 18-inch.
Oh well, now you're running around
Yeah.
with 460 millimeter torpedoes.
No, it's a 457. Yeah, it's 457.
Oh yeah. Ah yes, of course. The Armatas were 18.1 inches.
Yeah.
I hate inches. Inches worse
Inches to millimeters.
worth measuring. 33 knots, very good. Although I still suggest that they outrun the destroyer leaders, because destroyer leaders are generally outrun every time. They outrun the slowest ships, but the destroyers always outrun them.
Yeah.
So you may want to scrounge up a little bit more for this.
No, engine efficiency. I'd have to remove something for more funnels.
No, you could just, find ways to cut a little bit on the armor.
No,
but
because
otherwise,
engine efficiency with the
Yeah.
hull shape.
yeah, okay then. Otherwise, I mean, I've got one singular little bone to pick, and was with that middle turret. If we have A, B, and then we have C, D in the back, then we have that N in the middle.
It's A, B, X, Y, and I would normally class this as a Q, but I know it's not actually classed as a Q because it's not in between the secondary tower and the main tower.
Yeah,
But I would class that as a Q. Myself.
Also, can I just say I love it how the amount of shells that will be detonated if this thing ever gets a chance of detonation, which it probably won't because it's got a 2.4 flash fire chance. Plus 25.9% thanks to the flooding chance.
That's flooding chance it gets flooded. This has a minus 20% chance of catching on fire, though.
We all know how that goes with those fires. Specific Japanese aircraft carrier, which I will not name.
Taiho?
Yeah. When you do not know how to operate fire prevention stuff.
As the Drakenfeld video says, always train your crew.
Yes. Kursk.
Normal aircraft carrier crews would have gotten away with it.
Remind me, we not too long ago, like during the 19 whatevers, we had another incident with an American aircraft carrier.
Forrestal in Vietnam.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why you remember. Always make sure to arm your munition in the last minute, otherwise if you do something stupid or electrics do something stupid.
Forrestal was caused by a electronic surge that was unexpected that then set off the firing mechanism of the missile that was on the F4 Phantom.
Yes, that's what I mean. Basically, just make sure that you always arm your munition in the last minute possible.
Oh, as a bit of a...
But you don't want to forget about arming your munition, otherwise it's going to be weird when you try firing the thing.
As a bit of a bonus, I'll actually show you the
yes.
status of my entire fleet currently.
Yes, let's watch how his fleet is. I mean, his fleet status.
Yeah, it's, something
Somebody hasn't activated Windows. Yeah.
It's something that is meaning my current war of Austria-Hungary is mainly being fought by light cruisers and the CAs of the Hagenet class. Because going to
your BBs are in...
they should still be in refit. Oh no, it's December. Okay, never mind.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I thought they would still be in refit because it's still December. Because last checked it wasn't December. Yeah, there's Sarlet, and then the crash build destroyers are all 2 months away, and the Requans that Nelson likes are 23 months in building.
Oh boy, that will be a long, long time before you'll see those in action, won't it?
Yeah. Oh, and Tourville would be spending her next battle going against Austrian armoured cruisers of Fido,
yes, I will be...
and other CAs, although that would be for the next time I do any sort of stream, which I don't believe would be till Monday.
Yeah. And I will be reviewing your battle. Haha.
Reviewing the battle, reviewing...
I shall scrutinize every single... I shall do commentary in the background.
Of how bad everything goes. And you would actually see what I mean by how good Tourville is in battle.
Well, we do not want to be pessimistic now. That's the last thing a general wants, or an admiral, or any other person wants to be. Pessimism will kill the battle, let's say.
Right.
As well the soldiers.
Okay. So that is a friend of mine who's also a naval warfare expert. Ratings of
not expert,
designs.
Just enthusiast.
Yeah, kind
I'm
of
not
like
an expert,
me.
I'm just enthusiasm. Yeah, just enjoy stuff. Please don't take any of what we say as actual factual truth. This has nothing to do with actuality. We're just
and ship fires we mentioned.
We're just some random idiots on the internet doing random stuff.
Yes. Yes. I hope you